Krishna. Good morning to all the stalwarts who have joined for the japa circle. Make japa great again. Don't try to be a great devotee, just be a good devotee, but do have great japa. And this morning, a meditation that is given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kali Kali Namarupa Krishna Avatar. In the Kali Yuga, Krishna has appeared as a very special avatar. Avatar means somebody who comes to our rescue. They're in a higher position, but they intervene in our lives by coming down. Like if you're in a hole and you can't get out, and someone comes and lowers a rope, or comes down and pushes you out. So avatar means somebody comes from a higher position to a lower one. And Nam hoite hoy jagat nistar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that avatar in Kali is the name of Krishna. And of course, Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, talks about how the Omkar manifests. It's already there, Krishna's manifestation, in the form of the syllables AUM. They're already there in the heart as Anahata Shabda. It's unstruck sound. He resides there. But it becomes manifest by the sincerity of the devotee who chants it. So similarly, in our practice of Krishna consciousness, we have to add the ingredient of sincerity. And the avatar has already availed himself. He's there in the form of the name. He's come into the world to deliver the souls. And there's different modes of chanting. And they're all dependent on us, the three levels of chanting. One of them is Namaparadha, and the next is called Namabhasa, and the highest level is Shuddhanam. So anybody can, according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ascend with the help of the holy name, but we have to add our effort to the process. And we'll talk about that later. So we can remember, first and foremost, that Krishna is appearing in the form of his holy name. He is an avatar. And consider that if he can deliver the whole universe, if the name can deliver the whole universe, then if I'm one little tiny universe or part of the universe, how much he can deliver me, I just have to make myself open to him taking me along. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Nama Avatar Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Ki Jai Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Haribo. So I talked just a moment ago about the avatar and how that means that someone comes from a higher position to our position to rescue us, and the term for that is anugraha, which is often translated as mercy. Literally, graha means somebody who grabs. It means a grabber, like the planets are called grahas. And then anu means to follow. So someone who grabs you and pulls you in the right direction is someone who's giving you mercy, like wrong way, you're about to go off the roof. I'm taking you along. So in the process of our developing a relationship with Krishna, we have to also help him as much as possible to drag us in the right direction or to pull us along. According to my family history, my maternal grandfather in Detroit, Michigan, had lost his business. His business partner had absconded. And he was so depressed that he jumped into the Detroit River. And there were people watching, so they had thrown some ropes and light with some preservers, those rings, where you can grab on. And he didn't take it, and he drowned because he didn't grab on. And so there's a way in which, although someone may reach out to save us or try to grab us and pull us, we might resist. And then there are other ways that we can make ourselves more grabbable so that it's easier to be pulled out of the material world. So in our own sadhana, we have to avail ourselves to the mercy of the holy name, the avatar, and make ourselves more available. So just for a moment, any of the ways in which you've felt yourself pulled on the path, anugraha, by the process of chanting, or any ways that you feel like you're resisting. Pop quiz, your reflections, please. Any ways that you feel like you're resisting being pulled? Or ways that you feel that you're being elevated by the avatar of the holy name? Yes, Pavani Bhakti. Free microphones for everyone in the audience. Apparently they don't work.
Hare Krishna.
They do work.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for starting with the point about sincerity and the example that you gave about Haridas Thakur. And I was thinking how sincere he was, and in spite of all the obstacles he got, he kept his chanting continuously. So that's a reminder for all of us that, when we are chanting, we get all these distractions, and how Haridas Thakur did it. I'll come back to you. Let me finish my round. So it reminded me of that. And somehow two analogies came, that's popped up in my brain, that chanting is like, if you have a pyramid, and chanting is like the base. And if you don't have the base, then all the efforts that you do is of no use. Similarly to when we do yajna, and if we don't have the ghee, our endeavor to just keep burning will not help us. So chanting is like that ghee that we put on the yajna. And it's the most important ingredient in our service. So just reminded me of that.
Thank you very much for the analogies. Chakadola.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dandapranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Guru Maharaj, from last few days I was thinking about how to remember Krishna, And today in Bhagavad Gita introduction, I read Prabhupada's one line, that the names of the Lord and the Lord are not different. So Lord Krishna's instruction to Arjuna to remember me, Lord Chaitanya's injunction to always chant the names of Lord Krishna are the same instruction.
And you've got a Krishna hat on too. We like your hat. Thank you for the reminder. Krishna and his name are non-different, so we get direct association. Any experiences, Vigyan, of how you feel elevated by the holy name, changed? Or how you're resisting? Thank you, Chakadola. So nice to see you. There, Kota Karnava.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. I think when I feel sleepy, that is something I'm pulling away. I mean, I'm not holding on to the rope, although Krishna is giving the names. So when I feel sleepy, I'm actually not holding on to the rope and drowning. But when I see devotees sitting straight, posture-wise, so I come back to, I feel I'm more attentive. And also I read, Prabhupada says, careful and cautious. There is a lecture I read from Chanting Hare Krishna, that one should be careful and cautious while dealing with Krishna. Krishna's holy name is not different than him. So that always helps me to come back and hold on to the rope tightly.
Thank you, Kautukarnava. Sukeshri.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The only way that I am trying to realize that I'm going ahead in my japa is realizing that, oh, I never chanted. Like every few years when I look back and look at I do my New Year resolutions, I realize that, oh, wow, did I ever chant the last 10 years? This is something different. And again, another 10 years goes by. Wow, I don't think I really chanted. So the process is surely working, I know. But I think I just feel I'm just beginning after 2 decades that, oh wow, I've never done this. I've never done chanting before.
In the Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav, 2 disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta approached their spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and they said, Guru Maharaj, we've been chanting now for some time, and we're distressed because we feel we don't have any taste, and we're not making much advancement in chanting. And he said, well, how long have you been chanting now? They said, 10 years. And he said, oh, well, then it's not so bad. I thought you were chanting for a long time. He said, this is just beginning. So Srila Rupa Goswami says we have to be patient. Part of that is patience is maintained a lot by our cultivating knowledge of the potency of the holy name, because it's easy for the mind to forget and run off to some other place. Nam binaki chunahi ko aro choda bhuvanamaje. Mind wants to know, what do I get out of this? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, everything. And if you run off to every other store in the world, you won't get anything. Here you can get everything. Ekachakra Pran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances, everyone. Just reflecting on my life since I've found bhakti, I feel transformed in many ways. I feel a lot more simple and happy and have more meaning in my life. I'm deeply grateful to you for your teachings and for pulling me up. At the same time, I'm still feeling like I have so far to go. Actually, I realize I have further to go than I ever thought before. And it makes me realize that no matter where I'm at on this journey, I'll always just be scratching the surface, and that it goes deeper than I could ever imagine.
Thank you, Ekachakra Pran Prabhu. Yesterday we were talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to Rupa Goswami, and he told him, when he began to explain bhakti, he said it's an ocean. He said, I can just describe one drop of it so that you can have a little taste. And one should always feel like that I'm just scratching the surface. And for the close, Gandharvika Radha, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, as you just mentioned, it's always, every day is different when we chant. Sometimes we are enthusiastic, and most of the times we think it's a chore. But I always remember 2 points, and that helps me. Once you said that chanting everything is possible by chanting Panchatattva mantra. So I always think that controlling my mind is the most difficult thing. So I chant Panchatattva mantra for a few times, even when I'm not chanting, and that helps me. And also at the end of the bhakti classes, you always say, Nithai Gauranga. So Gauranga and Nityananda, they help us to chant more focused than anybody else, because it's the process that they set for us. Thank you, Prabhu.
Well, thank you for reminding of that. Gauranga. No, you do Nityananda. Gauranga. Gauranga. Gaurangas are much louder. So when we're in Namaparad, we're not open to being dragged, but we can at least consider it and think of ways that we're more draggable by Krishna. Nam Bas, that means we're chanting and we're very open to Krishna pulling us up. And when we're in Shuddhanam, we're running in the right direction because we're fully convinced, and we've been able to slough off all of the hesitancy. But it's all in relationship to the Holy Name, who's our avatar, who has come to specifically save us. So chanting japa is developing that relationship with Krishna and being more and more open to accepting his help in taking us towards his lotus feet in the spiritual world, which is altogether possible, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in the last song of the Śacīnandana, that the Holy Name's taken me by the hand and introduced me to my relationship to Krishna in the spiritual world. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Shri Nityananda Ram ki jai, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Go Premanande Haribo. Hare Krishna. I just want to leave our session with a couple of thoughts. I talked to Śacīnandana Swāmi the other day for a while, and we were talking about the Holy Name. And one thought he had passed on to me, the philosopher Kierkegaard had said, talked about commitment. And one of his quotes was, "Some games you don't get to play until you're all in." And when you decide that you're all in, that's when you're accepted. And so he was talking about how when we decide we're going to fully dedicate to the chanting process, that's when we actually start making progress. It has to do with our internal commitment. Then he also mentioned that intensity is important. He said it's an active meditation, doing japa. And he said when you first plant a tree, you have to irrigate it a lot. Otherwise, it won't survive. And he said, so in the beginning, you need a lot of water till the roots go really deep. So he said that in the beginning, we have to really dedicate ourselves as much as possible to the chanting process so that we can get deep roots and stand strong. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vanchakalpadurusha